Okay, finish is silent. We are on. Oh my God. Hello.
Oh yeah, I see.
Okay.
Yay.
There's a bit of a delay, by the way, so I'm going to put everything on silent. Okay, I'm going to look at you on the Zoom because there's like a bit of a delay here, but let me just put the live on as well so I can see. Oops, I can see questions. Hi, welcome to my fourth ever YouTube live. I'm actually quite a shy person, so this is why I've never done one alone yet. And today I wanted to talk about my past life regression. Yes, I was Venus. I am Venus. And I'm joined here with the facilitator of this experience, the timeline coach. That's such a great title. So, would you
Thank
like to
you.
introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Venus, for this amazing opportunity. It's my first time doing a YouTube live, so sorry if I'm a little bit shy at first. So yes, the timeline coach. I thought it was a great title, but what I really do is timeline regressions.
Oh,
So past life regressions and future life regressions. Yeah, and so the technique that I use is called Beyond Quantum Healing Hypnosis, and it's a heart-based technique where your higher self and your subconscious is really the one that guides the journey. So I'm just kind of facilitating it and holding space for your subconscious to really tell us where to go. So it's a very magical experience that I'm sure you'll be able to share with your audience and hopefully you enjoyed it. Yeah.
absolutely. Well, I met Catherine on online years ago. We only met in person recently, so we collaborated on this past life regression of myself because I'm really a spiritual seeker, and I'm always looking to try new experiences. And if I hadn't met you, it's not something that would have been the first thing on my list of therapy or healing modalities. Because the question is, why go back? Because everyone's thinking about the future and manifestation and things like that. So, what exactly is a past life regression?
That's a great question. Why go back? Well, I think the simple answer is to heal.
Hmm.
But that you can do so much more than just healing. You can also understand patterns. You can also understand your life lessons. You can understand your life purpose. You can really understand the bigger picture of your soul. So if you put things into perspective and you know that you've experienced many past lives, and that there's a reason for it, and that there's meaning in all of them, then you can start to imagine the map of your soul, all of the experiences that your soul has had, and what is trying to achieve, what is the experience that is looking for. And so it kind of gives a great perspective into who you are, that you are more than a personality, you are more than a physical body. And you start to give meaning to this life right now. And I think that's the most important part, to find the meaning of this life and finding the importance of this life.
Amazing, amazing. So, how do you do? How does it happen? So, what is So is it like a hypnosis? What's the procedure?
Yeah. So the technique is called BQH, and it's got hypnosis elements. So you are in a trance state of mind. So it's almost like you're about to fall asleep. You're super relaxed. That moment right before you fall asleep, that's the feeling that we want to get. And it's like lucid dreaming. And so I basically get you super relaxed, a lot of meditation. Sometimes I use music as well. There are some hypnosis elements to it. And then once we're there, then I ask your subconscious to guide us and to show us a scene of your past life. And then once we're there, then I help you navigate through it. And then we see three or four scenes of a past life. Yeah, and then we see the final moments of that past life, so the moments before you transcend into spirit. And that's also a beautiful scene. And then we navigate what happens after, which is the astral space where your soul meets your guides, and you get a lot of nice answers from your guides. Yeah, basically.
Amazing. So we actually spent about a month preparing for this. So let's share about what the preparation is and why does it take such a long time?
Yeah. Was it a month with
Well,
you? Oh my
something like
God.
that. Maybe I don't know if that's just due to scheduling and stuff, but the first
Yeah.
thing we did, I think we had a meeting just to talk about maybe
Yeah.
goals or something.
Yeah.
And then you gave me some meditations to do. So tell us about that. So do you want to
Yeah.
cut? So how what was the preparation and why does it have to happen in this way?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that this journey is very profound.
Mm,
It's very deep. It's something you have to prepare for. You have to prepare your mind. You have to prepare your subconscious. You have to really be in a good place, in a good relaxed place, because it's a strong and serious session. It's about 3 or 4 hours for most people. With you, it was super fast because you connected super fast, but normally it's about 3 or 4 hours. And so what I do is that I have a lot of calls with the people before to really understand if this is for you, what you expect from it, what your intentions are, so that I can personalize the session for you. Everybody's different, and so everybody's journey should be guided
mm,
differently, personalized and unique. And so what I do is I ask you a million questions, try to get to know you better, see what the best thing is for you so that I can create it for you. And then at the same time, I give you 6 meditations so that you can train to expand your consciousness. And this
mm,
is super important because a lot of people have never meditated. And so they it's the first time. And so it takes long for them or longer. And so I would say about 2 weeks before the session, we start the preparation. And then some people are super easy. They connect super easy. People that are really focused into wellness, that are very self-aware, like yourself, that have practiced a lot of amazing magical things. And then for people like that, then I still give you the 6 meditations, but you probably like breeze through it, and you could probably connect tomorrow without the meditations as well. So yeah, I just try to make sure that everybody is prepared.
mm,
Also because I want to make sure that you do visualize, that you do see a bunch of things. And some people that are very in their head and they have a lot of anxiety, it would take a bit more effort for them to visualize and to open up. Um, so yeah, that's why I
mm,
prepare everyone. Even
mm.
if you are super connected, uh, I still try.
I'm assuming that this type of thing would attract naturally people who are already in this space, no, of soul seeking and wellness and just healing modalities in general, and in that type of having that curiosity rather than the kind of more skeptical people. Would that be true in your experience?
Well, actually, I have a bit of everything in my clients.
Mm,
So, not skepticals,
mm,
not skeptics, sorry, that
mm,
was not skeptics, but people that are starting to get into this area that are very curious, or that they just they feel the call in when they see something regarding past lives. They get very interested in it. Maybe they've always believed in it. Maybe they've always wanted to do it, but they're not into the habit of meditating.
mm,
And I think that's the most important thing. There's a lot of people that are very into wellness, but maybe they don't have the habit of meditating. And
mm,
so they still need to prepare for it because you do need to be in this very peaceful Zen mode within your mind. So you need to really control your own thoughts, basically, and
mm,
silence your inner dialogue for it to
mm.
work.
So would you say being a meditator helps in general?
100%. A
Mm,
100%. People that meditate regularly, people that connect. So
mm.
for example, like channels, like channelers, tarot readers, people that basically connect with what that have expanded consciousness. Even if they don't meditate regularly, their practice naturally helps with these sessions. Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
going back
even
to
if you don't. So sorry?
so going back to my experience to share with everyone, I did these meditations. They were like they weren't just meditations, they were experiences. they were really quite intense and very different from the meditations I normally do. And yeah, so I really, really did enjoy them. And then we had another call talking about my intention and questions, if I remember correctly. So there were about 20 questions. Is that normal that you have?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think we had like two calls. So I normally have the first call is to talk about the intentions,
Mm,
and then I ask you to think about 20 questions. So it's about 10 to 20
mm.
questions for your guides. Uh,
Okay.
and then we have another call to look at those questions and make sure that they are the right questions. Or just, I guess, make sure that you're really taking advantage of this opportunity and not asking something trivial that maybe you don't really are so interested in.
Mm. So I think to
Yeah.
formulate these questions, I just went to my trusted chat GPT with my intention. And then I got a list of questions and then we kind of went through them and customized them to make them a bit more relevant to my goals. And I'm going to share with everyone actually, my goal was just to unblock and reach my potential. Like what's holding me back? That was my big question. I didn't want to make it specifically about love or about work or about, and I wanted to be kind of like what's blocking me in general so I can kind of really reach my potential. So I want to say hello to the people online here. This is really crazy because I've only done four lives. This is kind of a new experience. So hello to the people here. And oh, I look godly. Thank you. Goddessly. If you have any questions about past life regression, please let us know in the chat because have one eye over here as well. So going back to my experience, so I wanted to unblock, find out what's holding me back. Is it my own fears? Is just to kind of really reach my potential. And so I came up with a list of questions. And then I'd forgotten about the questions then, which is kind of a good way because I didn't have this script in my head when the big day arrived. And yeah, I had no expectations. The only thing that Katherin shared with me was don't make any plans after
Yeah.
because
That's
because
important.
I would be so tired or wasted. And I was like, really? Okay, that was intriguing to me. So I made no plans that day. It was a Saturday. I'm not a morning person at all. So we started quite early, 11 o'clock. That's kind of early for me. And so we had a designated maybe 3 4 hours, and then that was it for my day. And yeah, so we did it in my place. But usually you work online and in a center. How do you usually work?
Yeah. I in person, I have well, I rent a therapeutic space. So
Mm.
yeah, and online basically. Yeah. And then of course, if I know the person well, then I can go to your place and do it there. Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
So I found this like 8 hour track of Goddessly, yeah.
Hmm.
Goddessly. I found this 8 hour kind of angel track online. And unfortunately I have YouTube Premium, which I highly recommend. Once you've got it, going back to those ads, it's really, really worth it. So it was this long, kind of very, very relaxing music. I was on my sofa and I also wore a blindfold. I was going to just do it with eyes closed, but you recommend a blindfold. Can you explain why?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Mm,
I mean, it's really personal. It's
mm,
just that some people get distracted if they see lights.
mm.
And sometimes at the beginning of the visual journey, you see lights in your inner eyes, and you think it's outside. And so you might o want to open your eyes. And I
Oh,
don't want you
okay.
to open your eyes because
Mm.
then it'll wake you up. Yeah.
Okay, going back to a free bit before that, actually, I'd forgotten. We did the water blessing. So tell us about that and why.
Yeah.
What was the water blessing?
So yeah, it's this beautiful, very short ritual that we do with water where we add the intention of the session into the water through light and energy. And this is super important because the intention is the guide for your subconscious to know what to show you.
Mm,
So everybody's intention is different. If you want to know about abundance, then your intention is, I want to know how to live a more abundant life. And so your subconscious knows what to show you regarding that.
mm,
So it's super important. It's the first thing we do. And then we set the intention in the water and we drink the water, both of us, you and me as well, because I
mm,
have the same intention for you as well.
mm. Great. And then I lay on my sofa, with my blindfold. And at first, I just remember just kind of, it was hard to kind of get comfortable. I was kind of like scratching and just kind of like, a bit twitchy. Is that normal?
Yeah. It takes
Mm,
I mean, it takes whatever long it takes for you to relax. It can be 20 minutes, it can be 40, it can be an hour and a half.
Mm.
It's different for everybody. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So the next thing we did was then we did this. What was the next part? Was it the
The
meditation?
meditation. Mhm.
Mm,
The meditation, I this is where I personalize the journey because this part is different for everybody depending on the calls that we have. So I try and find what works for you better.
mm,
And so we can do many different things. But yeah, it's a meditation. It's about 30 or 40 minutes of just you really calming your mind so that your inner dialogue can be silenced. And as
mhm,
soon as I see that you are fully relaxed, then I begin to open the portal.
amazing. And just before that, I was wearing a microphone as well, so the whole thing
Mhm.
was recorded, and so that was interesting. So then I've watched a few things online since our experience because I was kind of I didn't want to have any expectations. And I remember there was some kind of room or garden or something, and then was it going through a door? I can't remember exactly what it was, but then I remember you said look down at your feet, and I've seen that on some other videos that I've seen about past life regressions. Is that the first thing? Because we're kind of going through this place, and then you're in this place and you have to kind of describe, you look down at your feet. Tell us about the significance of that.
Yeah. So after the meditation,
Mm,
when the person is like is in the right moment, in the right place, their mind is calm. That's when I visually say we're going to open a portal and we're going to enter the portal and then we're in a different reality and we're going to go for a past life regression. And then we arrive, right? And
mm,
once we arrive, this is the trickiest part because it's the first scene, which means it's the first moment that your subconscious starts to open up and show us images. And so it's a bit hard to connect with the environment the first 20 minutes when that happens. And
mm,
so all of the questions that we ask during those first 20 minutes are super important because it's mainly for you to really immerse yourself into that scene. And so I
mm,
ask you, what do you see around you? Because a lot of people not might see things at first, right? So it might be a little bit foggy at first while your subconscious starts to open up. You might see only lights, or you might see only like you're in this white place, but you don't know where. And then the images start to show up naturally once you relax and let the information flow. But for you, what I saw was that you immediately immersed yourself into the scene. You were already seeing visual things, so I could
mm,
skip that. And then I asked you directly, okay, now let's engage with your body in the sense of let's see if you see yourself in the body. And so I ask you, take a look at your feet. What do you see? Maybe I ask what clothes you're wearing, or I ask, do you see yourself in the body of a female or a male? And then those questions really make you engage with your experience. Yeah.
mm. I told a friend of mine who's not spiritual, not a seeker at all, that I was going to have this experience, and she said, "Oh, everyone I know who does past life regressions, they say, oh, I was Cleopatra, I was this kind of really famous or powerful person, but no one says I was just like someone normal." Is
Oh,
that
really?
yeah, that maybe that's someone who doesn't really know much about it, but it was well, if you, is that what's your experience
I've
with
never
that?
had that actually.
Okay. Like,
All
I was
all of
like,
the past lives have been super normal.
okay, okay. It's a bit of an assumption that
No.
people make. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Mm,
I've never had a client say that they are in the
mm,
personality of someone famous. The only
mm,
thing I've been able to see was that one client, she was very well connected, so the information was flowing through her really easily. So she managed to get the exact year
mm.
and the city of where she
Wow.
was. And then after the session, she Googled it and she had the confirmation that it was where she thought it was. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really spooky in a cool way. For me, I didn't really get that type of information. I had no idea what my age was or where I was. I just felt like I was in this kind of very green environment, almost like Ireland, and I have Irish roots, but I didn't see any kind of animals around, and it was almost dusk. It was kind of like a grey sky and all these green fields, landlocked, no sea. And as I was kind of walking along stone or gravel path, I could hear that these old boots. And I was walking towards something. And what was really weird is that I just felt this massive anxiety in my body and this really profound visceral desire just to cry. And it was not like but it was a kind of it's just this, like I was releasing some deep sadness, and but then it was okay. But I just felt yeah, it was a strange feeling to have that, you know.
Yeah.
It was something kind of deep because I wasn't having a bad day or anything, but it was is that kind of normal to kind of take on some emotions that are not yours? Well,
A
they probably are
hundred.
yours, but maybe they are somewhere on some level.
100%. Like
Mm,
I think, at least for me, the best part of past life regression with this technique is that you release so many emotions.
mm,
And you release them through your body. Like they're real. You're tearing up. It's not like you
mm,
are imagining something. You really are experiencing these emotions.
mm,
And it for me, it's the subconscious releasing what it has to release.
mm,
And sometimes it's not important why, where it comes from. I mean, we will have those answers within the journey, but I think the most important part is feeling those emotions and releasing them so that they no longer burden you.
mm. I haven't listened back to the full recording, but I do remember after kind of releasing this sadness that, and then there was a profound feeling of peace within me, even though I felt like I was walking away from something, and not knowing what I was walking to. So it was a kind of a strange, and there was just nothing around me at all. I was alone, but feeling quite serene. And then I remember kind of seeing it's almost getting darker and darker, and this kind of house on my left side with one window with one light on. And then I kind of entered this house and I was welcomed by this older woman who didn't really say anything to me but smiled and made me dinner. And it just felt like I was being um, nurtured, I suppose. And what the message that came to me was that this was always available to me, this refuge or sanctuary or whatever it was. So I just felt this huge sense of peace, a lot of solitude in this journey, but a lot of peace and a lot of nature as
Yeah.
well, which was really soothing. Mm,
And actually, I think the most interesting part of your session is the fact that you were receiving the information through those emotions.
mm,
So we didn't fully understand the storyline, but
mm,
we did understand what you were feeling. And
mm,
those emotions were the cues. That's how we were understanding what was happening. At first, you were feeling frustrated, you wanted to cry, but you also felt grief. So that was telling us that there was some sort of loss. And then when you finally felt peace, that told us that you finally felt your emotions were the points of the story, which
mm,
later after the session we kind of put everything together to understand the full story. But for you, you were receiving the information through these emotions. Yeah.
mm. And then then you take me to different parts of the story. Is that normal? So you kind of go maybe fast forward, rewind. Is that normal to try and kind of get some kind of more information
Yeah.
about the
Yeah,
life?
exactly.
Mm,
So because, I mean, everybody's different, right? And so
mm,
my job is to help you navigate it so that you get all of the information
mm,
that we want. And so sometimes that means that I will rewind. So going back to the first, like a scene that would be earlier than the first scene that you visited, or
mm,
I could also start asking questions to see if maybe the information would arrive to you and you can tell me a bit of why you were there, what you were looking for. But if you didn't have those answers, then I would guide you into a different scene so that we do have those answers because I know that when you wake up, you're going to want more information. And so,
mm,
so actually, my job is to truly understand that story.
mm,
And there are many ways of doing it.
mm,
And I think, yeah, for your case, you were receiving the information through emotions, and that gave me a lot. And I was like, okay, I think I understand what's happening, but let's try and get more info. So let's go back earlier, even earlier than that, and really understand what was happening in that earlier childhood, or what drove you to the field where you were. Yeah.
mm. And what really I took away from that was it just made me feel or understand my experience as a woman today, and how we are free, you know, and we weren't in the past. And I had that feeling of, I had a feeling like it was me in a different time. Even, you know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but it just felt like who I am now in terms of my identity, my struggles, my feelings. It was the same person, but with a very different environment where I wasn't able to fully flourish and express myself. And it made me see like womanhood from the kind of lens of lineage and what we've come from, you know. And we were at times, you know, just 1, 2 generations ago, where we weren't really in charge of our livelihood, what we could do, you know, with our lives, or not get married if you don't want to get married, or, you know, it was just everything was kind of prescribed, you know. Whereas these days we have we do have a lot more choice. So it just made me feel a lot more kind of grateful, but also sensitive about that as well. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
it's everything that you see, it's very much relatable to your own personal story because
mm,
these these visualizations, this story, it's coming from your own subconscious.
mm,
So I'm not guiding you in the sense that I'm not telling you what to see. And so
mm,
everything you do see comes from your heart, comes from your soul, your subconscious. And so that makes it deeply personal to you. And
mm.
that's why it's so wonderful because you can't make it up.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you get from those lives into, let's say, the questions? Because I can't remember that part. Because I mean, for me, it's a bit of a blur. And I've not listened back to the recording.
Yeah, so we take a look at the entire life and then when I see that we already have enough information, then I ask you to go to the last moments of that life where you can witness the death, the transcendence to spirit. And then once we see that scene, we see the spirit out of the body and going into the astral space. And then in that astral space, it's a wonderful moment because you will get greeted by your spirit guides, by your loved ones. And then I ask you to find the white light, the white room. And this is a very peaceful space. And once you are there, then we start asking your guides or whoever shows up. This is in a very, very loving, very heart-based space. So it's only your loved ones will arrive. No, nothing else, no one else. You are always protected.
Mm,
And then there, we have the opportunity to talk with them for like 40 minutes or so. And we get to ask them all of the questions that you had previously prepared.
mm. You know, I absolutely forgotten about all of that part. And it's like to listen back to it because it was just so the most interesting part for me was afterwards. It felt like it was an experience of, let's say, half an hour, but it was a few hours. The actual recording of the past life was 1 hour, 29 minutes. And I just thought, wow, I just, that really blew me away. That just time kind of went by very, very quickly for me. So
Yeah,
is
and
that
actually, I
normal?
think,
Mm,
well, I mean, yes and no. For you, I think that's been one of the quickest
mm,
sessions that I've ever had
mm,
because one, like clients normally take about an hour to relax and to arrive in the first scene, and you did it within 20 minutes.
mm,
And then once you're in the first scene, also clients, it takes a long time for them to understand their environment and to understand where they are. But for you, it was super, the information was flowing really quickly. And so we were able to navigate all of the scenes super quickly because of that,
mm,
because you had such an open channel. So that's actually not normal. Normally,
mm,
the recordings that I give you that don't include the meditation at the beginning
mm,
are about 2 hours long. So yours
mm.
was super, super fast.
But even so, so it was like in total 2 hours with me, but it still felt like half an hour. It did not feel like 2 hours at all. And then it got. I remember, you know, you said not to prepare anything. I was so drained for the rest of the day. It was whoa. It was, and someone called me to go out, and I was like, no way. It felt like I
I
was still in a trance. I was like, no way, I'm not doing anything today. So.
It's funny because nobody believes me when I
Mm,
say this previous to the session. I say this to everyone. I say, you're going to
mm,
be super tired. You shouldn't work that day. You shouldn't make plans. If you really want to go out, try not to go far because you're going to have a crash. You should
mm,
be at home taking naps, sleeping,
mm,
resting. And people are like, I'm fine. I have lots of energy. I can normally do so much thing. And everyone, 100%, all of them after the session, because I'm always texting you and making sure that you're okay after the session.
mm,
And everyone is like, "Oh my God, Kat, you were right. I am exhausted."
mm. Why is that?
Because of all of the energy that you're
Mm,
releasing.
mm,
If you, of course, you already listened to your recording, there's so much emotions in
mm,
this journey, so many emotions. Probably more than you can understand from the recording, from the audio. I give you an audio and I also give you the transcript so you can read it, but you don't see that. I see it when I'm there with you. I see the tears, I see the anger, I see the frustration, I see everything traveling through your body and getting released, and it's a lot. And I
mm,
do this with you, so I help you. So it's a lot for both of us. I also get
mm,
drained. I also get tired
mm.
after the sessions.
So tell us about integration, because what I did after when I got the transcript, I put it into ChatGPT, which is my life coach, and I said with the prompt, make a summary of this, and I got a really cool summary actually, and it had some of the actions as well of how to kind of, integrate the lessons or the learnings from the session. So
Yeah,
so tell us about integration.
I normally do a call
Mm,
after the session. It should be a few days after so that you can fully, integrate everything that you experience, and so that you can read the transcript and hopefully listen to the recording again, because a lot of people don't remember their entire session.
mm,
And so in this integration call, which is about 2 hours, it's very similar to journaling. So
mm,
I ask you questions. I mean, it's personalized for everybody, but I ask you questions so that you can understand, so that you can bring all of that information, home. So like, how does this relate to your current life?
mm,
Are the struggles that you saw in the session, are they similar to the struggles that you currently have? What are the lessons, or what is the message from that session that you can apply here? And so we kind of do this journaling session together so that you can have a plan as to what how to go on forward. It's really connected to the intention. So for example, if your intention is how do I remove all the blocks that I have so that I can be more abundant, then the entire journaling session will be towards that, so that you know
mm.
exactly what to do and how to use this new knowledge and this new insight. Hmm.
Amazing. Amazing. I think that's about it, really. But so someone asked me, "You have such a good voice to lead meditations." Actually, I am on meditate. I do Insight Timer, so I'm a meditation guide on there. If you like my voice, check it out. Also, my podcast, The Orgasmic Lifestyle, where you can hear my voice as well. And what else? Do you have anything else to share with about this, about your experience
Um,
as a guide?
yeah, I would like to share with people that this is a very beautiful experience, that people shouldn't be afraid. Because of the technique that I use and because of the way I guide you, everything is super heart-based. So you're always feeling loved, you're always feeling protected, you're always feeling guided. It's very different to other past life regression techniques where you go and you find traumas, and that's more trauma therapy based. And it's
Mm,
very different from what I do. From the purpose of these sessions for me is to connect you to your higher self, connect you to your interdimensional self, connect you to your soul, so that you can understand how amazing you are and all of the amazing experience you have and all of the amazing experience you can have in the future.
mm,
To show you how powerful you can be, to show you your inner beauty outside of this physical form, outside of this personality. So it's very about finding that love within yourself. So people shouldn't be afraid. And even if we see uncomfortable scenes in these past lives. We go through them super quickly. I help you navigate these emotions, but always people come out of it feeling really happy, feeling really joyful and grateful, and they love themselves more after these sessions.
Um,
So don't be afraid. There's
So,
nothing to be afraid.
so what do you think I could get out of, let's say, listening to the recording again?
You can remember how wonderful you are because actually your session was very beautiful.
Mm,
And and your guide or your spirit guide was also beautiful. It was this amazing energy. And you can listen to this recording whenever you want to connect with that. But actually, you don't even have to listen to it because you can connect with this guide and with yourself whenever you want because you already recognize that feeling, that
mm,
frequency. So
mm,
it's a new perspective going forward because one, you know that you are not alone, that you are always protected, that there's always someone there loving you and guiding you, and
mm.
reminding you that that everything can and will be okay.
Amazing. So where can people find you?
In my website or in my Instagram, my website is called
Can you,
icarohealth.com.
can you spell that for us? Let's put that in the chat.
Yeah, mhm.
iCaroHealth.com.
Yeah, with a K. Yeah.
Okay.
icarohealth.com.
Okay.
And or my Instagram, which is cat, it's in
Mm,
Spanish, so it's cat vidas pasadas.
mhm.
But or they can go to your Instagram and we have a shared post. So
Okay. Well, I'm going to put I'll put all this information in the actual description here, so anyone watching this not live can check it out. And if
Mhm.
you want to work with Kat, I highly recommend her, and she also does online sessions as well. Just one quick question, but what's the difference between online and in person? Is there any kind of difference there?
Yes, in person, I think it's more energetic
Mm.
because we're together, so we connect better. So yeah, I if you live in Barcelona, then I suggest we do it in person. But if not,
Okay.
you can still get the same benefits via Zoom.
Mm.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to say about Kat, she had her voice when we were doing it was just so nurturing and soft. I thought you thought you were really good. He's like, you just asked really good questions as well. It was so I felt really held, and it was only the second time we met as well. So it was really, really trusting, kind of good vibe. So really thank you.
Thank
And we're super
you.
grateful.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay, we're going to leave this live. I'm actually enjoying this. I'm going to have to do some more lives now. It's been over a year since my
Yeah.
last one. So thank you for everyone who has tuned in to this. I'm definitely going to be doing more. I'm going to find some more people to help me because I'm still not still not brave enough to do a solo live, but you never know. I'm going to try and step out of the comfort zone a bit more frequently, I think. So let me see how I turn this off. Whoops, how do we stop? I'm going to stop on the I've got no idea because I don't know. I don't want to cut you off. I got to stop the YouTube up here.